Hi, Verbling. My name is Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and today we're talking about ways to practice. Ways to practice English, and we're going to be trying to focus on ways that are cheap or free and things that don't take much time. So, practical solutions, additions to your time here on Verbling that will really help you become better English students and better English speakers. Mike, welcome to class.
Hi, Michaela.
How are you, Mike?
I am fine. I was in your class today in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. So you're doing a lot of studying today, huh?
I need to study because I want to get a job.
This is a great way to do it. A little
Thank,
fun studying.
thanks for your time.
I'm glad to be here. It's been a good weekend for me so far. And Harry, welcome to class.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Harry. I think this is my first time with you, right?
Yes,
Well, nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Germany.
Very cool. And have you been on Verbling a long time?
Since 1 week.
Wow, a week. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here with us today.
I'm over the trial and I continue it.
Great.
And it's worth the money, I have to say. It's really great. It's the best uh learning which I can recommend. It's really great. It's really yeah, the teachers they have yeah, they really do a very good job. They like their
I'm so
students.
glad to
Yes.
hear you say that. And I totally agree. I think it's a great way, and it's cheaper than some things.
Yeah,
A lot of language courses are expensive.
because I want only to practice my English and not a overloaded website with exercises which I can't use.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Awesome. So, today we're talking a little bit about more exercises you can do in addition to verbling that will help you get a little better. And Allah, are you there?
Hello, teacher. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to put the notes in the chat box for you guys, and I'll screen share as well. And we'll get started. And while you guys are loading that up, let's talk a little bit about how you guys practice already. So Mike, what do you do aside from classes here on Verbling, of course, that helps you to be better in English?
I have problem. Michaela, I am a beginner. Sometimes I don't understand what you say.
I'll I'll repeat. What are the ways you practice English?
Can you
How do you
write?
practice?
Can
Yeah.
you write for me?
How do you practice? Oops. Ooh.
Oh,
What just happened? Sorry.
it's all good.
Sorry. So, how do you practice English?
Mm, okay, I practice English with. Well, sometimes I watch videos in internet over internet.
Excellent.
Through this site, the talk.
Oh, that's a great one. Lots of good information there. So, watching videos is
Mhm.
one excellent way to practice, and it's free. Thanks,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Harry, how do you practice English?
I like to practice English by listening
Listening to what?
to podcasts. Do you know podcasts?
Yeah. What kind of podcasts are your favorite?
Oh, I started with eslpod.com, um, and I followed their new podcasts. Maybe they bring out a podcast every 2 days, and I noticed, oh, that's really, really too much for me because I can't follow this speed which they bring up, and I was always behind the newest podcast. And I thought I have to stop it. It's too quickly for me how they bring the new stuff to the students. And
Mm.
what I didn't like, because if the first time when you sign up, you have to pay $60, and after that you have to pay $10 monthly. So when you stop studying and you want to continue, you have to pay $60 again to start the podcast, the transcript service again, and I think that's too much to charge $60.
Wow, yeah, definitely.
Maybe they want to avoid that students sign in and download the podcasts like from about 5. Yeah, maybe they exist since 4 years, and many students. Maybe I would do it also. Maybe I would sign in and download all the stuff in 1 week and cancel the membership.
Yeah. So, usually podcasts are a good way to study, but sometimes they can be expensive or difficult. So, you have to find the right podcast for you if you're going to use podcasts. Thanks for that
Exactly.
suggestion.
Thank you.
Allah, what are some other ways that you study English?
Yeah, sometimes I try to read in English articles, maybe short articles, and to find some words. I try to learn new words because I think if I could expand my vocabularies, it would be easier for me. Um, so I try to memorize new words, but I think it's easier and easier to remember if I hear the words from maybe a movie or a real situation. I will remember it better than just looking up words in dictionaries or something like that. So I try
Mhm.
sometimes to read articles. Sometimes I try to hear some news maybe in English. Sometimes movies I try to watch it without looking to the subtitle in my language. Uh, I find these ways are useful. Um, uh, I'm concentrating in building the vocabularies. I think the weakest point for me, or the hardest point, is the conversation, because we don't use it. There is now no need to talk maybe in work or in our ordinary life in English, because we are not native English speakers. So that's the weakest point. I try to improve that point. I can read better, I can understand better, but when I listen to English, but when it comes to conversation, here's the challenge.
Excellent. You gave us some good suggestions, like short articles. Thank you very much, Allah. And Zorab, did I say that right? New student Zorab, are you there?
Yes, yes. Good evening.
Awesome. Good evening. Welcome to class. And have I met you before?
No, no.
Okay, well, it's nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Thank you, thank you. It is pleasure me too.
Excellent. Where are you from, Zorab?
I am from Armenia.
Awesome. Nice to meet you. And Zorab, do you have any methods of studying English you'd like to share?
Yes, of course. Uh, First of all, I want to speak about English learning. For example, when your English for you not native language. Uh, first of all, you must uh, understood that there are four section English learning. You must learn English, not only English, all of languages planning when you plan to learn new language. Uh, you must together learn speaking, writing, listening, and reading. Uh, you don't divide it uh, these four section, and I now without this Verblink course I learn uh, myself. I a lot of listen every day English, for example, TED.com. It is very useful. There are a lot of talking native speaker, and then uh, uh, I learn there are a lot of new words, and I learn that new words and listen. It is very useful.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, thank you for giving us some suggestions. And we'll get started with the notes today. So these are tips on improving your English learning experience. These are activities that you can add to your daily life for more practice of English. I'm going to ask each of you to read some of them. Number 1, Allah, will you read?
Write your shopping list in English.
Yes. Do you do the shopping in your households, Allah?
Of course, yes.
Excellent. And what kinds of things do you usually buy?
Uh, Things that we need every day: vegetables, fruits, house needs, maybe cleaners, maybe everything, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sometimes you'll be surprised to discover what words you don't know. If you try to
Mm.
make those lists in English, you'll realize that like there are some words that you're like, "Oh no, what do you call that?"
Right.
All right. Number 2, Harry.
Start a diary in English, a diary for your daily activities or for news, events, or the weather, and more.
Have you ever kept a diary?
Yes, I did it.
For what
But
kind of stuff?
uh, I tried it to uh, I tried to remember how I feel. I want I oh how can I describe it? My my feelings. I tried to know more about my habits. My habits when I have much work. How do I act? How do I use my free time? So I was, I was, how can I say it? I wanted to know how this affects my private life when I'm busy in my job, how I act in my private life, and that gave me a mirror how I act, so I could change it.
Well, that's an interesting thing to keep a diary of. That's awesome.
Yes, I learned much from it, and when I look back on the story, I said, "Oh my goodness, what did I do?" Yeah, yeah,
So you kept this diary in German or in English?
in German.
Now you could try to keep a similar kind of diary in English. It would be difficult, but if you attempted, I bet you would get a lot of results and learning from that.
The first two ideas till now, they are really great. Really great. The shopping list, I will do it because I have to shop. I'm a chef and I'm a cook, and then I have to buy many stuff, many food stuff and things, and that's a great idea, number one.
I'm glad you think so. I hope you like them all. Number 3, Mike, will you read number 3?
Number 3, write I don't know what to say.
Haiku.
Haiku every day. I don't know
Does
what
anybody
is
know
that.
what a haiku is?
I don't have idea. An idea. But I would like to share another other tip.
Go ahead.
I work with computers in my country. I live in Costa Rica, and sometimes um, I call the hosting IT
Mhm.
and try to explain my ideas, mm, my problems with they and listen English. I sometimes call to toll-free numbers,
Interesting.
and then
That is an awesome idea.
I learn some words and phrases. And,
Can you explain to the class, for anyone who might not know, what is a toll-free number?
uh, English. Toll-free number. Okay.
Mhm.
Again, when you need to support technical support,
Mhm.
the I don't know, the company has or have or has
Well, if it's plural, it should be have. The companies
have
have.
the company have a free number, or I don't know how to say, but
Yeah, a free number.
a free number. Then I call sometimes and try to practice my English with they.
Excellent. So I think I'll just explain in another way what you were saying. A toll-free number is usually a number that is for a product, like someone selling something, and you can call to, say, make orders or do whatever, but you can also call for information. So you can call these toll-free, so they're free to call, you call, and you can have a mini conversation with someone in English. I
I
have
call
never thought of that.
Michaela, sorry, I call through Skype because it's free for me because I live in Costa Rica.
Excellent. Wow, that is really cool. I've never thought about doing that, but that's an excellent idea. So you can call those toll-free numbers to get a conversation in English. What an awesome one to add. Thank you very much, Mike.
Can I ask Mike a question?
Go ahead.
Mike, I really say you are great because I wouldn't do it till now because I would think, oh, I get stuck in the conversation because when I dial the phone number and first I have to think what can I say on the phone when the other person goes on the phone and I have to say, I'm Harold, who is speaking? I would get confused when I would call a native speaker a native English speaker, how so how what experience do you have experience how you can understand them, and do you can uh, go to your goal? Maybe you have a question about the product. So how's the conversation is going? How's the conversation works for you? Is it
Okay. Bueno, sometimes I try to call toll-free numbers about technology because I work with technology. Uh, it's easy because I work with computers every day, and I try to explain my ideas. I try to talk about computers. Then I don't know.
So the
It's
vocabulary is
it's
familiar to you.
Yes, yes, because it's easy for me because I am computer programmer, and I buy things, hosting and service and software. Then it's easy for me.
Wow, great. So for other students, you might need to do a little research. So if you're about to call a company about a product, you could do a little research on the product, maybe look at their website and see what kind of words they have there before you call to make sure you are comfortable having a conversation about that product or whatever it is you're calling for.
because Michaela, there is a website called Voxy. They also teach English. Voxy,
Awesome.
yeah, Voxy, but they didn't have the prices on the website, so you have to call them and they give you the prices on the phone. But I don't do, I won't phone them first to get the prices.
That would be an excellent way to practice. Get a little conversation in asking what their prices are.
Mm-mm.
Awesome. I love that idea. Thank you very much for bringing that in and for us discussing it a little bit.
Thanks.
All right. So back to the list. We read one that people didn't understand. Write a haiku. A haiku is a kind of short poem, and it's just 3 lines. And let's do one together. So a haiku is 3 short lines. The first line is 5 syllables. The second line is 7 syllables. And the third is 5 syllables. Does everyone remember what a syllable is? What's a
Not,
syllable?
not really.
Okay, a syllable is a unit of pronunciation. So in the word information, we have 4 syllables. And they always have a vowel sound in them. So in, for, may, shun. Information has 4 syllables. So it's a short poem, 3 lines. The first line has 5 syllables, then 7, then 5. And in this way, you can practice your pronunciation because while you write, you have to think how many syllables does each word have. And you get good experience using vocabulary and thinking creatively using English. So let's write one together. Let's write a poem about verbling. So the first line has to have 5 syllables. Can anybody think of something to say about verbling that has 5 syllables in it?
It has to be one word.
No, it can be many words.
Okay. yes, I would ask, or I would use the first one. I would say, I want to say yes.
Excellent. I want to say yes. And that's a cute sentence because each word is just one syllable. Very nice. So I put one in the chat box also just to give you guys more ideas, and that's great. Great way to practice. Great way to practice. I want to say yes. 5 syllables. The next line needs 7 syllables. Allah, can you give us the second line with a statement about verbling that's 7 syllables long?
Okay. I found it very helpful. That's 6. Okay. Uh,
No, that's 7.
7. Okay. I
Mhm.
found.
So you could say, I found it very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I put one in as well. Conversation with students. And yeah, that's it. Okay. And Mike, will you give us one more? And the last line is 5 syllables again. So a line about verbling, that's 5 syllables long. Ah, there we go. I like this website. 5. Great. So that would be a great way. If you take 5 minutes, you can write a short haiku about anything you want, about verbling, about your cat, about whatever, the trash, taking out the trash. And yeah, let's see. This is a great way to learn. 7. Perfect. So it's a fun little game you can play with yourself to help, and it's short, it's every day, hopefully. It's free. Okay, let's get back to our list. And the next one, number 4, Mike, will you read it for us?
Michaela, Michael,
Yeah.
Mike. Okay. Read the lyrics to your favorite English song.
What's your favorite song in English, Mike? Or maybe your favorite band?
I don't know. I like Cat Stevens. It's a singer.
Awesome. What kind of music is that?
Was like rock.
And do you
I think.
ever read the lyrics to
I,
those
I,
kinds of songs?
I have a problem because I like the jazz music. Then
Ah, there are no words.
yes, but Cat Stevens is a great singer. Yes, he is from the UK.
Cool.
Mhm.
Awesome. How about Harry? What kind of music do you like in English?
Mm, I I listen to all kind of music. I have no special one.
You don't have any favorites?
No favorites. No.
What are some bands that you know in English? Can you give recommendations to other students?
I the the right now I like to listen to um who is singing Euphoria. They are mm, the song Euphoria. Do you know the song?
I'm not sure I do. You could put it in the chat box if you like. And it's what kind of song? Rock? Pop?
It goes slowly. Uh, um, it is a very good song. Uh, it goes into techno. It's not directly techno. It's a smooth. Yeah, it's a really great beat. It's a really great beat. When you hear it, you have to go with it. Also, you can't stand fixed. You have to go with the song. Yeah, automatically I have to move with the beats.
Wow, sounds great. I'll have to look it up after class.
Okay,
Are there lyrics to that song?
sure. It's a very famous song.
Awesome. I'll have to look it up. And Allah, what kind of music do you listen to in English?
Uh, Unfortunately, music is not in my favorite list or my favorite things. It's
Really? Why
not.
not?
I don't know, but I don't find it as a hobby or something like that. I don't listen to music even in my language, not in my language, not in English. No, I don't find it as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't find it as a hobby or something. For me,
Yeah.
it's.
There's an expression in
Mhm.
English, and it's to each his own. Have you heard that expression before?
No, no.
It means like everybody is different.
Ah,
So
okay.
everyone will have different preferences. We say to
Yes,
each his own, like you don't like it and some people do, and maybe there's something you like that someone else doesn't like. Everyone is
exactly.
different.
Exactly, that's it. Yes.
All right. Harry, will you read number 5 for us?
Sing your favorite English song.
Uh-huh. And a good place to do this might be in the car or in the shower, someplace where you're not going to hurt other people's ears. Do you ever sing along to music, Harry?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Where do you do it?
In the car. Yeah, when I ride my bicycle, my bike.
Very cool. Does anybody else like to sing along? Mike, what about you? Do you sing?
No.
Not even in your
I
car or when you're alone?
I am a little shy.
Yeah, I'm shy too. I always make sure that I'm absolutely alone and nobody can hear me, and then
Or
I
at the
sing
club,
along.
at the club, people like to sing together when at the clubs.
At the claps?
Yeah,
Oh, the
when they
clubs. Mhm.
yeah at the club when they play a famous song which is well known and people try or they like to sing together. The
Mhm. Definitely.
the main part of the song, they know it all.
Yeah. And Allah, will you read number 6 for us?
Read an English language comic.
And will you read us this short comic here?
Yes. Next, our program will be Eunice. Sorry, I can't see.
Linus Van Pelt.
Linus Van Belt, who will sing Jingle Bells. Okay, before I begin, I'd like to say a few words about how programs like this can ruin a child's holiday season by causing worries and tensions that sing you blockhead. Okay, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
So this is just a
Nice, nice.
short, yeah, it's a short, funny example of how comics can be a way to be, it's amusing and it's short and usually pretty simple. So it's a good way to get a little extra English into your day. Sometimes you can find these online with news, or other times you can even buy them, maybe online as well. You can buy them and have them shipped to your house. If you want like a whole book, you can find comics that are very long or very short, but they're great ways to help yourself practice. Number 7, we're back to Mike. Will you read number 7?
Okay. Did your cousin, friend, brother, niece a word in English? Nice tip.
Do you ever teach people English, Mike?
My little English. Yes, sometime because I have a nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have to help him with the homework.
Ah, excellent. I think teaching is a great way to help yourself because you learn a little bit when you teach. And I know that when I started teaching English, I learned a ton. And even now, I learn things in classes. So if you teach, you learn a little bit, you learn on a deeper level. If you practice something and you think you understand it, you get to a deeper level of understanding once you teach and you get exposed to more and more. So it's a great way. Number 8, Terry.
Change your phone settings to English.
Do you have a phone, Harry?
Yes, and I did it. I do it. I use the English interface, and also on my computer I use it in English, the operation system.
Wow, great. As long as it's not too confusing, right?
Yeah, when I work, yeah, it's very normal for me to have it in English.
Awesome. All right, number 9, Allah.
Put some notes on your bathroom mirror and read them while you brush your teeth.
This is a trick I used to use when I was young to memorize things for school. So if I
Yes,
needed to memorize like a poem or anything, I'd put it on my bathroom mirror, and whenever I was brushing my teeth, I would say it to myself in my head.
yes, I use it also. I used to have it when there was exams in school. Yes, the same thing. I put it in everywhere actually in the house, not only the mirror. So when you walk through, you can see some notes, and in your bedroom some notes, in your mirror some notes, other notes. Yes, like this.
Excellent. That's a great technique. Even if you only spend maybe 2 minutes each day in front of it, by the 5th or 6th day, you'll definitely have that memorized, right? All
Right,
right.
I think it's helpful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, number 10, Mike.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Be realistic about your level. One thing that holds many language learners back is actually trying too hard and tackling, tackling,
Mm-hmm.
tackling something that their brain is not ready for yet.
All right. So the word tackling, does everyone know what that means?
I don't know.
Can anyone
To
explain that verb?
master, to master something. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Kind of like to master, or to attempt to master at least, like to attack a problem. So tackle is actually a term for something that happens in football. And when I say football, I mean American football, not soccer. Sorry if
I,
that's
I,
confusing to people.
I understand.
Um, so a tackle would be like when you kind of jump on someone, right? And I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but I certainly do this. When I'm trying to learn a language, sometimes I get really excited and I buy like a 500-page novel in the language. And I think, okay, I'm going to read this novel and then I'll be fluent and it will be excellent. But in reality, what I do is I buy a book and it's above my level, so I can't really read it. And I read maybe 1 or 2 pages, and then I give up because it's just too difficult. It's above my level. Have you guys ever done that? Harry, do you ever do
Yes,
that? You get really excited and you just go
yeah,
overboard?
I have one book I needed about 1 year. Now I can understand what the writer will say. I needed 1 year to get it, but I said now I know it's worth to get it. And now I learned to be patient. When I want to learn something, I have to, yeah, because I didn't understand what the writer will say, and I needed to know more background about the topic from the writer,
Mm-hmm.
because the problem was not the English words, because I didn't know about the part of the about how can I say it, um how things going when the writer describes something. I didn't know how that works. So I had to bring many small pieces together to bring one sentence to me. Yeah, I had, yeah.
All right. So you ended up accomplishing it by patience, right?
Yes, yes.
Excellent. Awesome. And Allah, do you ever get a little carried away and try to tackle something that's above your level?
Yes, of course. I tried maybe once to buy a novel or something like that in English, and I found it difficult. Some novels there is a descriptions or there is something that is professional writing or something that for natives, and you end up just looking the dictionary. Maybe you'll have to look 5 or 6 words in one sentence. It then become very hard and boring. So it will be a negative effect. It will have a negative effect instead.
Yeah,
You-
sometimes it can.
mm,
It makes you frustrated instead of
yeah,
really
frustrated
helping.
and bored. Yes, and to left it behind you. And yes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right. Mike, how about you? Do you ever go too far sometimes?
Sorry, Michaela, can you write the sentence?
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
So sometimes people try to do too much at once and become frustrated. Do you do that?
okay. So, yes, yes. This is my problem because I want to improve fast.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have to begin a game and begin a game.
Mm-hmm.
How can I say frustrado?
Frustrating.
Sí, frustrating.
Yeah,
But
totally.
but now I try to learn about my no sé, about computers. Then I feel it's fine for me.
Mm-hmm. Good. So you see a lot of times students will do this. Even students in class sometimes will get a new student and they join 10 classes a day for like 3 days and then you never see them again because they come and they're really excited, but they do too much too fast and then they get frustrated or bored and they quit. Okay. Number 11. I think we're back to Allah.
Read graded readers, easy readers. These are books that are specially written for language learners like you. Example, Penguin readers. Although it can be difficult to find something as interesting as things written in newspapers or on the internet, in terms of learning the language, only people who need to read for their work or an exam usually gain more from reading things written for graded readers. Graded readers of classic books like Charles Dickens also have the benefit of giving you a lot of knowledge about the literature and culture more generally of English-speaking countries in a short time.
Thanks. Has anybody here tried a graded reader before?
Yeah, Penguin books and yeah are popular.
So you've tried reading some graded readers in English?
I think yeah, Penguin, especially Penguin readers, yeah. Some novels, they have some novels, maybe short or like that, stories, short stories, yes.
Yeah. So if you do try to read a book in English, if you look at these graded readers, sometimes you find an interesting book that's specifically made for people who are still learning English. It'll be a slightly less frustrating experience because the language is simpler in these graded readers. It's just a little simplified so that you guys can not feel overwhelmed by the vocabulary and the grammar that's difficult to understand.
Mikara,
Yeah.
I think another way is an audiobook.
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever had an audio book before?
I have an audiobook of Charles Dickens, but I will begin the next week.
You'll begin your audio reader next week?
Yes.
Wow, good luck. Let us know how it goes. That sounds excellent.
Thanks.
I'll have to add that to the list. Audiobooks are awesome. Similar to podcasts, really.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Anyone else used a graded reader or an audiobook before?
Yes, audiobooks. I use it regularly in the commute time when I'm going to work. I put some audiobooks during my on my way to work.
Awesome. About what?
Mainly about self-helping books and self-improvement, like these types.
Cool. Very cool. All right. And Harry, will you read number 12?
Okay. Keep a list of words, words you learn, words you like, words you came upon but didn't understand, etc.
Yeah. So this is something I really like to do, is just list things. You can, if you see a word you don't understand, put it in a list and then you can ask a teacher or look it up later. Or another really good list you can make is phrasal verbs. I did a class on phrasal verbs a little earlier today, and we talked about the importance of making lists of phrasal verbs so that you can remember all the information about them. Mike, have you made a list of phrasal verbs before?
No.
Have you worked with phrasal verbs?
No.
All right, then Harry, can you help us out? Can you explain kind of what a phrasal verb is or give us some examples?
Or maybe when I think hang out would be a phrasal verb, maybe.
Uh-huh. Definitely. And Allah, can you tell us more about phrasal verbs?
Yes, phrasal verbs that contains a verb and noun after it.
A verb and a particle.
A particle. Look up, like look up, watch out. Yes.
Yeah. So they're phrases that function as verbs. And like Allah said, we have look up. So that would be like look up a word in the dictionary. Or hang out is another one. Come on is another. These are verbs that have multiple parts, and they can be pretty confusing sometimes. Occasionally, they take an object, like look up a word. You have to have an object, but hang out does not require an object. So there's lots of different information for you to understand about phrasal verbs, and that's why it's good to make a list. Make a list and put their definition and maybe use them in a sentence as an example for yourself. And then the next time that you come upon a phrasal verb, you can go to your list, and if it's not on your list, add it to your list. And just writing it down will help you remember the information, but of course it's a good reference if you see the word again and you think, oh, I remember that word, but I forget. Does it take an object or does it not? Can I separate it or can I not? Or how do I use it exactly? So that's a good way. And Pablo, welcome to class.
Hi, teacher. I'm late.
Yeah, you're pretty late. We only have a few minutes left in class, but Pablo, tell us, how do you study English, aside from verbaling classes, of course?
Well, now, how I am working, I only can listen music with YouTube, and I use lyrics. Yes, lyrics video.
Yeah, lyrics are a great way. What kind of music do you like?
Well, I prefer classic rock.
Nice.
Yes.
Great example. Does anybody else have a last suggestion before we finish class today? So we only have a couple more minutes. Anyone have a last comment before we finish up? Awesome. We'll be finishing this list in the next class. We'll be starting with number 13 and working our way down to the end, having a little fun along the way. Well, we might even be doing a little singing in the next class if we're brave enough. And I hope to see you guys again soon. And I had a great time in class today. If anybody wants to friend me on Facebook, I'll put my Facebook name in. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye,
Thank you,
teacher.
Thanks. Thanks, Henry.
Bye, bye.
Bye.